Né? Eu vou no banheiro rapidinho, tá? Já volto.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can all hear me well. Today I have Luca with me again,
Hey everyone.
and we also have Luiza, and she's gonna show up in a minute. Say hi, Luiza.
Hi, what's up, people?
Okay, so yeah, just a disclaimer. I'm gonna wait to see if you guys can hear us well. Just a disclaimer. Unfortunately, Alvaro is not with us today. Unfortunately, both him and Marcia are home a little bit sick. It may be COVID. We are not really sure, so they stayed home. But we have Luca here, which is gonna help us just like he did for our last live stream. And Luiza is gonna be painting the Power Armor Marine. Right here, right? Yes, this side. I always try to, I almost always try to point to the left first, and this is not Luiza. Okay, so let's start this bundle or the full review for our War for Humanity bundle. But let's do a little bit of a flashback first and a little bit of a retrospective of the bundles for this year.
This one is a season finale, so
Yeah,
we're finishing a lore arc with this one.
Yes, and we always try to save a couple of special things for the finale, as you guys can see here on the table.
Oh, yeah.
But we're gonna get to it a little bit later. So first of all, this year, the first bundle of this year, we had Nuclear Fallout. And Nuclear Fallout, we got out of the bunkers, we faced a lot of mutants and a couple of like really gross people.
Yeah.
A couple of cyborgs in that bundle as well.
This very decimated planet. Also the cars in the bundle were
Yes,
like
we
a
had
main thing.
We had a couple of cars in that bundle. No, we had one car in that bundle. We had like a monster truck in that bundle. So that's how we started the year, right? And that bundle was the first after we kind of did a little change in direction with the sci-fi bundles. When we launched the sci-fi subscription last year, we already had like kind of 3 bundles done and a couple of bundles planned out. But then we got a lot of feedback from the community, and we decided to change things because you guys weren't quite satisfied with what we were offering you, right? So we decided to change things to lean more heavily into the sci-fi and into hard surfaces, robots, and all that stuff. It's like really easy to identify as sci-fi and that everyone loves. It's been and it worked. People seem to be very happy with that change. And Nuclear Fallout was the first bundle. We actually took 2 different bundles that we had like almost done, and we took the best of both of those. We fused them, and then we didn't discard everything else. We saved it for later. A couple of those minis have shown up in like the in the fantasy bundles or in the future sci-fi bundles, stuff like that. But yeah, it was a change of direction that we kind of needed. So that's how we started the year. And the first thing we did when we left those bunkers was we realized we needed to leave Earth because it was kind of a crap hole.
Yeah, it was kind of destroyed a little
kind
bit.
Of a mess, right? So the mission for that bundle was to find a spaceship and leave. And that's what we did.
Try to find a new planet that was inhabitable. And
yes.
Well, not spoiling it, but
yeah,
it didn't go all that good.
There was a bit of trouble with that. There was a little bit of a party crasher in the spaceship, and that's how we got to our second bundle for the year, Spacecraft Crasher. It was our alien-inspired bundle. We had a full crew of people with a control room and everything. We had a couple of different variations on our own original Oceotron, our alien,
our parasitic aliens.
Yes. Some of the things from that bundle still give me are still nightmare fuel for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like the half Oceotron, the guy that's
with
like
the arm coming out of the side of his body. Yeah,
that one. We did like all the stages of the transformation. And then, of course, like our heroes survive, or at least a couple of them do.
Oh.
And then they do a crash landing on the sandy dunes of Lutba.
which isn't a welcoming place either. So they went from like a Fallout Earth to like a desert planet. So
it's
good improvements.
Really bad luck with that one, but we did do and let me see if it's here. Yeah, it's
right there,
right here. We did in that bundle. We did the giant worm. There's one even bigger than this one, like the giant worm mouth, which is kind of like a Sarlacc pit kind of thing. And we did a lot of like huge creatures for that bundle, but we also did soldiers, like just kind of regular soldiers, which is something people have been asking us to do more and more with each bundle, right? I think the Marines and soldiers are just kind of more versatile, more generally useful. But Lutba wasn't a very friendly place, and we ended up having to live it and we ended up in a it's, as dystopias go, it's not that bad.
It's not the worst dystopia.
It's not the worst. But we ended up arriving into Neon Street 3K.
Our kind of cyberpunk world.
Yes, it was our first foray into the cyberpunk genre. A lot of people really liked that one. It was really fun to do. We've been waiting for an opportunity to do something like that. And we're probably gonna come back to it at some point in the future, because it was just that popular. It also has like a bunch of the characters that can just be used in a lot of different adventures, right? If it's just Earth in the future, or if it's like outer space, a lot of very versatile characters. We did 2 vehicles for that one. We did a car and a bike. We did a modular building. It was a really fun bundle.
Yeah.
And then we took off into space again, but this time with a contract from Jeff Musk.
Yeah.
Or
the CEO.
Prime Boss.
Yeah, the CEO kind of that planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
We took off with a mission. Was a mercenary contract, and we ended up in an asteroid in outer space with our Mercs and Miners bundle. But when we had to do a kind of like a couple of shifty things. We had to quell a minor rebellion, right? Wasn't our proudest moment as heroes, but you gotta do what you gotta do for money.
It was very mercenary work, like
yes. And we did find in that asteroid, which was a little bit of a we did find in that asteroid, which was a little bit of a surprise, a time portal. And it was a little bit of a crossover that we did with the fantasy bundles. So we had like the regular magical time portal in our City of Portals bundle, and we had the sci-fi portal, which is the future kind of broken and jerry-rigged version of the time portal, and we had that in Mercs and Miners. It's gonna be available. I think it's probably available now, Mercs and Miners, as an old bundle, so you can still get the time portal, and it's a really fun sculpt. We did like just a regular diorama version, and then we did a larger version where you can put yourself on it. Really cool bundle. A lot of zany, wacky characters. And yeah, once that adventure is done, this is what we get. The Marines come riding through the time portal,
coming from like a destroyed planet in the future because of an alien invasion.
It's an alternate timeline. We're not gonna spoil it too much.
Yeah.
But it's some alternate timeline shenanigans, and they come in to help us save humanity from an alien invasion. And these are the minutes that we're gonna take a look at today. And yeah, it's been a wild ride, and we kind of saved the best for last. There's a lot of stuff to go through today, and let's start with our kind of our more standard stuff, the standard Marine. So this is the standard Marine right here, and he is we have a couple of versions of him. We have kind of a more relaxed pose version and a version that is like getting ready to shoot. So it's a more at rest pose and a more action oriented pose. And this was kind of the base for the Marines in this bundle, for the whole little troop that we created. And we're gonna get into it, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this particular character. The concept art for the standard Marine was done by André Amadesi. And let's take a look at the sculpts now.
That's very useful for like any sci-fi adventure at all. Like,
yes, absolutely.
Very interchangeable for any type of like humanoid army you're trying to go for.
Yeah, those could be. Oh, let's take a look at it. Oh, so these sculpts were done by Gustavo Glissi. And as Luca was saying, like these are just very useful, either as player characters, or you can use them like as security guards in a space station, anything like that. We went for a look that is kind of like very kind of practical armor, right? It's not very
stylized, right?
It's not very it's not that stylized, so we can do a lot of different things with it. And there you have it, like two different versions, kind of form-fitting armor. The idea with these ones is that they can be, they are wearing like the closed helmet, so they can be like either male or female. We kind of did a more, it's kind of leaner, I would say, around the waist, so it could be either a man or a woman out there, or anything else that you like. We leave it up to you. And you can actually do quite a lot with this sculpt. So Sam did an amazing job with them. We do have a couple of them here with us.
32.
Yes, it does remind me. They also do remind me a little bit with like the protuberances, the stuff on the back. It reminds me a little bit of those toys that you could like attach stuff to them.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, this bundle is kind of our I remember those old toy commercials, like the Mattel toy commercials, right? With a bunch of different ships and armies and marines. And this bundle is starting to give me those vibes. So this is just a start. This was kind of the base for what came next. And if you want like frontline troops for your army, these are the guys you want to go with. So just absolutely great.
These are kind of like the base troops for the whole Legion from the future.
Yes.
Any designs from that Legion kind of follow that same pattern of armor, a very lean, that type of weapons. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's get going. Actually, do we have? Yes, we do have a bust version of this character. And this one is done with the kind of at rest pose. Yeah, and let's do the transition now. And let's just look at all of that detail. And what I really like about this armor as well is because it does have like the plate armor look to it, but around the joints and around some of the like softer parts where you want flexibility, it has a little bit of a more organic aesthetic to it. It's still like metal and still like a synthetic material, but it does look like you could move fairly freely in that armor. So it's not very restrictive, and it's one of those things like it's both with like even medieval armor or like modern day like army uniforms and army body protection, that kind of stuff. They are heavy, of course, but they are not as heavy as people think they are, and they are actually fairly, you can move around.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it impedes you from movement. And yes, it also has some details that I just noticed. It's more like can adapt it for like a space.
Yes, yeah. The idea is that these suits are you can pressurize them and do a couple of spacewalks. Maybe it's not like they're not like the bulky NASA suits, right? Which the NASA suits looks like you're in space doing science. This suit's like you're in space doing war. So yeah, let's move on to our next character. And the next one is going to be the Marine Sergeant. And the concept art for the Marine Sergeant was done by... this one's a little bit harder to pronounce. Tarek Moutran. Yeah. Tarek. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. We're gonna get it right next time. So yeah, awesome concept art. It does remind me a little bit of Samuel L. Jackson.
Kind of.
Yeah, but it's just because it's like a badass black dude, right? The guy that that is kind of rocking the bald head look.
Yeah. He feels like he can fight an army alone, kind of.
Yeah. This could be the main character in a sci-fi flick or in an action flick or something. Unfortunately, like it does feel like one of those characters that is like one of the supporting characters that dies maybe very near the end, doesn't make it through all the way.
The last tragic death, pretty much.
Yeah, the last tragic death.
Yeah.
It's the guy that did everything right, it's the black guy that is following the white people around and trying to warn them, you're doing things wrong, man. You're gonna get us killed. And no one listens to him, and then everyone dies. Except like the last white dude. It's very, very tragic. And it happens like every action flick and every sci-fi flick. But you know, it's always those kind of characters are always very, very
they're the coolest characters, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, they are very, very memorable, I would say.
They're the people that do the action in the movie.
Yeah, and he's carrying like a big, heavy gun, right? So we experimented with a couple of different styles of weapons in this bundle. So you have like your standard marine with like your standard rifle. This thing could be like a grenade launcher or a heavy ordnance gun, like a shotgun or something. His armor is also bigger, bulkier, has something that is similar to a jetpack
with some It feels like he's carrying more stuff.
This guy's probably some sort of like drop troop or something.
And he's kind of an officer as well, right?
Yeah, he's an officer. He's a sergeant. So yeah, let's transition into the actual sculpt. And the sculpt for this character was done by Laius Kamini. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous translation from the concepts to the sculpt itself. It really brings out, especially once we get to because we do have this. And I'm spoiling things, but you guys probably already know. We do have a bust version. We don't have a bust version of this body, but we do have a bust version of this head. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at all those fine details in just a little bit. But you know, this armor is not exactly the same as the standard marine. It reflects a little bit of a higher rank, maybe better pay, maybe like a little bit better resources in this army. And it's one of those things like you gotta have the like really bulky armor, but no helmet, because you gotta do like the money shot of the actors, right?
The actor has to show
like
their face,
if you're paying, if your actor has stopped billing, you don't want to keep him wearing a helmet the whole movie, right? You really want to showcase that.
And I mean, you're at least like 30% more badass if you go into battle with no helmet on. So,
actually, and if anything, and helmets are kind of like death traps in war movies. They're kind of like just big targets because you know you can shoot a helmet and have a little blood coming out of it.
Yeah.
And you know the implication is quite terrible, but it's not as gory, so you can get away with like a PG-13 rating or something. But yeah, this is the Marine Sergeant, a really badass character that I would definitely use as one of my characters in a game if I was going that way. And notice he is practicing like perfect or almost perfect gun safety. He's not pointing the gun at anyone. You know, I think he may have his finger on the trigger, but you know, he's in a combat situation.
Yeah.
You know,
I noticed that the next character that we're gonna be showing doesn't even have like the finger and the trigger. It's almost all of them are practicing like
gun safety. Gun safety first, guys. Okay, so let's showcase our next character. Oh, we actually, we do have a bust for this one. I was completely mistaken. So let's showcase the bust for the Marine Sergeant, and then we can actually like get to see like the whole. Let's see here. We're just kind of adjusting a couple of things here, folks. And this character, like, he has like the very, very pronounced brow ridge thing. So even though he doesn't have like a lot of hair, you can see his expression very, very clearly. So yeah, let's transition here. Yeah, there you go. Look at that face. This is not someone you. This is like a. If this guy's your drill sergeant in an army, you do not want to make him mad at all. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And big gun too. Like we should probably have like do big guns like this in the future at some point. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
I love the details on the grenades as well. Like I think almost every grenade from different soldiers kind of has their own different design.
Yeah, has because this is not like this is kind of like the last ditch resistance army, so it's not like 100% standardized equipment, right? It's like they are picking up technology from any alien race that would help them, and they are just kind of trying to put together like the best possible armament to fight off an invasion.
They're kind of the last line of defense for this timeline.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. This dude also, like the big gun like that, also reminds me a little bit of something like Cable from the X-Men, like the the huge oversized guns, right? It's just so fun. Okay, so I think we're ready now to move on to our next character. So let's showcase the Marine Commander. And again, this is going to be another concept done by André Amadesi. And there we go. Like this is like the main character.
That's
right?
the fierce leader.
Yeah, that's the fearless leader. That's the person that's gonna this is the poster shot for the movie, right? We like this character is just so cool.
I love the base, by the way. Like it gives a good framing to the character. It kind of and the concept art and the interaction with the environment kind of gives a good dynamic for the character.
Yes, and this particular character, you may notice she's holding a gun that we do have here on the table, and we're gonna get it a little bit more into it later. But let's check out the sculpt. And this one was done by Bellucci. Caio, anyway. I keep butchering the names of our collaborators. Sometimes sometimes there are names that have a couple of different ways of pronouncing them in Portuguese, and I never know which one is the right one. But anyways, this sculpt is like just really great. I love this one. I like it has the when we're doing like soldiers like this, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do a lot of different types of textures. You end up with a lot of like synthetic textures, a lot of metals, a lot of like hard surface, and not a lot of opportunities to do like fur or cloth or something. And then we have to get creative, right? So this one is wearing, this character is wearing some cloth around her waist.
Tattered cloths kind of coming out of the waist to, I don't know, probably hide something there, right?
Or maybe it's just a stylistic choice. I think the point is this is the kind of stuff that the main characters do to differentiate them from the grunts, or maybe isn't the actor's contract, right? Like you guys are not gonna see my tush, so if no one gets to see my tush. So yeah, but this is like a great character. She does have the waistline for this body is a little bit more lean. It does suggest a more female character, but it could still work for a male head if you switch it around. So Yeah, she's the commander. She's not like a frontline fighter. She's not gonna be carrying around like heavy ordnance or a lot of weapons or anything. I think she does have like small grenades or something. Yeah, I think she does have smaller grenades around her waist.
And it's pretty big like belt of grenades, pretty much. She has a lot of. She
yeah,
can even
it's like
do that.
yeah, it's one of those situations like I'm gonna be the if I'm gonna be the last one standing, I'm gonna take down as much of those bastards with me as I can, and then end of the movie, you just pull the pin in a couple of grenades and let them blow up, and it's kind of one of those choke on me moments, It's just perfectly fine, and the cloth in this one just really gives this character some fluidity to her pose as well. I love the hair. I absolutely love the hair. It's always great to have an opportunity to do some really cool curly hair. And yeah, let's check out the bust version so we can soak in all of the details that Kyle sculpted for us. So let's position into. Yes, there we go. This is a badass character if I've ever saw one.
I mean, you can see that fluidity even the bust version. Like like the cut in the bust kind of follows the end positioning with the gun. It's so cool.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing, and this is just such cool armor. Just such great armor. I'm a sucker for armor. Like, it's kind of an inside joke here at Loot. I'm the paladin guy. I'm like it's what I like. It's what I like to play. I really like this kind of toy. Really, since I was a kid, I've loved this kind of stuff. So yeah, every time we have an opportunity to do some more cool, like really cool kind of form-fitting armor, I absolutely adore it. And yeah, before we move on, actually, let's show off before we change this character for another one. Actually, no, we do kind of have to show one more character, the Jetpack Marine. So let's transition into that concept art. So the Jetpack Marine is kind of like the highly mobile flying kind of. Ooh, what's the name of the character in Overwatch that's kind of this profile? She's the air support character. I think is it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember as well the Overwatch.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
Yeah, it's just such a cool design, right? Just the ability to go fly around the battlefield and provide air support and just
I love how the ground and smoke. You can see in the scope in a little bit, but the ground and smoke interactions. Like, I think the first time we did it was in Sandy Dunes of Luca, and I absolutely love how that.
Yes, we did it in Sandy Dunes of Luca. We did it again in Neon Street with the droid rigger.
Yeah, but for painting, it looks beautiful for painted minis with that.
Yeah, people get to be really creative when we do these kinds of effects, right? And this is one of those models in which we really need to like the base and the model are really integrated. We always plan a couple of models to be more geared, more focused towards players, but we have to set a couple of models for painters, right? So they can do interesting things. So yeah, this is the concept art for our Jetpack Marine, and this one is by Tariq Motran. I'm gonna go with that pronunciation for now.
Stick with one.
I'm gonna stick with one.
Fine.
I'm gonna try to stick with one, but I'm sure I'm gonna mess it up again later. So Tariq did this concept art, and Daniel Sanchez did the sculpt, which we're gonna transition to now. And again, absolutely amazing. I always absolutely loved like the smoke effects that we were able to do and the fire effects. And I don't know, man, like printing this in maybe I don't know if like translucent resin would work for this. Oh, in Overwatch, the character is Pharah.
Oh yeah,
I think is Pharah. Yeah. There's Mercy as well. I think Luiza mentioned her, but I think this one is a little bit more heavily armored, and is a little bit more of like a direct combatant than Mercy.
I just have to comment first and foremost on the jetpack styling with the um canisters in the top.
Yes,
I love that.
Yeah, it gives the model a little bit of a. It changes the silhouette of the model a little bit. So when you're looking at it like straight ahead, you see something different going on. Even if you're looking at like her face, you know there's something going on in her back. No, and it's just such an amazing model. Like, it's one of the like really action poses that we did. It's kind of an action shot, right? It is kind of the shot where in the movie you would go into slow motion, right? And sometimes it's kind of hard to find a good balance between what people are asking. Like, a lot of people ask us for more like standard poses where they could put their characters in like a tavern or a bar or something. But if we do every character like that, people are going to complain because we don't have a lot of action poses. But if we just do action poses, people are going to be like, yeah, I can't use this in like a roleplay situation. And then we have to like kind of find a balance and do a couple of characters to satisfy each group of people.
I'm a sucker for dual wielding characters. I have to comment on that too. I love the gun detail for this one as well. Very different from the other ones. Kind of lean and more like a light troop kind of weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's check a couple of things out. I'm just eyeing the next couple of models here, folks. And yeah, this is the model for our Jetpack Marine. Now,
is it time?
I think it's time. Let's just talk a little bit about the Power Armor Marine, and then we're gonna get a little bit crazy.
Sure.
Okay, so the Power Armor Marine, and let's check out the concept art for him. You need to have this guy, right? Any sci-fi army, you need to have a guy like this that is just, that. Yes, there we go. The little head around here, yeah, the little head and the huge body, right?
Sometimes you don't even need those for fighting. It's like if you have some rocks in front of you, you kind of need this guy for something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where we start to have like a lot of fun and we get to get creative. We have created a couple of different power armors. We did it for our December bundle last year. We had a couple of power armors. We had a power armors in kind of like the Imperial Army. We had a power armor again in our Nuclear Fallout bundle, but that one was more like more kind of Fallout inspired, more like 1950s, 60s technology. This one's like a proper Halo or like maybe Master Chief or like Warcraft, like huge power armor, right? And this is actually the model, and actually let me just let you guys know, this model was also the concept art is also by Tariq, and the sculpt is by João Comaceto, and this model is actually the one that Luiza is painting right now. So let's transition to that. So Luiza, if you could turn it around just a little bit, just so people can get like a good look at it.
Sure.
And this is a big boy. Once Luiza is done, I think she's gonna come around, and then we can show you guys this one compared to the other characters. But he's easily like, what, twice the size of the regular Marines, something like that. He's big.
I think he's getting on large on like character size for well, D&D. He's kind of getting a large there.
He'll probably get a large. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, there's some awesome power armor, and now I think it's time that we start to get crazy, because every single one of the characters that we have shown you guys so far you can switch their heads around. And we have a bunch of different heads. So it's 5 different characters so far for the Marines, and we have 8 different head options. So we have the options for like the base characters, and then we have 3 extra ones. The concept art for them was done by Tariq again, and I believe the extra heads were done by were sculpted by Luiza Kamini. But it's just modularity is something that you guys have been asking for a long time. So here you go. Here's your modularity. So with the 2 versions of the Standard Marine, it's 6 different bodies. So we have the two Standard Marines, the Marine Sergeant, the Marine Commander, the Jetpack Marine, and the Power Armor Marine. And all of those you can fit any of these 8 heads, right? So you get to like something like 48 possible combinations.
Yeah.
So that's a fairly varied army you can create. You can also just create a bunch of characters with like with the helmets, right? So you just you create a huge army with the helmeted heads, and then just for the special characters, like the named ones, you use the heads where you can see the face. So let's take a look at a couple of the options that we have here. So yeah, let's transition into the sculpt. Yes, there we go. Just a second here, guys. Yes, so I think we have the Marine Sergeant right in the middle there, and let's just change a couple of heads, do a couple of substitutions there.
Kind of a difficult operation to do at a distance there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no issue, man. We do have a bunch of these, and all of the busts as well. We can change the heads on those. Yeah, so there we go.
3 busts, like bodies for.
Yeah, it's three bust bodies. So it's the busts are for the Standard Marine, the Marine Sergeant, and the Marine Commander. So those are the 3 bust bodies that we have. But we have the 8 heads for the busts as well. So a lot of variety that you can get there. Yeah, do we have the painted one? The painted commander? Yeah, I think we have a 75mm painted commander that we can showcase to you guys. And again, it's just the commander body with the helmeted head of the Standard Marine, which is probably the helmet that the commander should be wearing, right? If she doesn't want to get shot out, she doesn't want to die horribly.
Which in this bundle is kind of a big ask to survive.
Yeah. We are using a little bit of for the 75mm. We are using some putty to keep the heads attached, so we can do some modularity. You can glue them on if you want to, or you can use magnets. We do have a bust, right, that has the magnetic head option here. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Oh, we have a 75 too. Yeah, for the 75 and for the bust, it's easier to do with like just some putty or with magnets. You can keep the heads like permanently interchangeable. For the 32mm, it may be best to glue the heads in. Yeah. They are very, very small and very, very finicky. We managed to make them work, but you know, for the 32 is a little bit like if you don't glue the heads in, you may just lose them.
Yeah, it's very small details there. Yeah.
Yeah, let's showcase the busts. I think those are gonna be great to showcase the head switching options. And again, I think the only body type that is not kind of very very androgynous, like unisex, would be for the Jetpack Marine, which has kind of a more form-fitting armor, you know. But again, you can still fit a couple of different heads in it. The helmeted head, just a second, you guys. The helmeted head, any of the female heads. There's one of the heads that's kind of like the Asian person, which is kind of androgynous, so you can go either way. Yes. Yeah, let's just change a couple of heads and... Yeah, this is one of the best ideas that we ever had. It gives us a lot of options. It allows us to do some modularity,
especially for like this bundle specifically with this kind of soldiers. It kind of really lends it to having interchangeability from like being able to at least like have two helmets for like two different armies, or have helmets for different characters and different faces. So yes. Seeing that the armor can kind of fit everyone, you kind of have a lot of modularity.
Like, some modularity like this, it means that we can get to have our cake and eat it too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people ask us constantly for more variation and more modularity. We kind of prefer to do kind of unique models, right? And really do them like highly detailed. And the more variations we do, that's a lot of work that we could be spending. It's a lot of time and work that we could be spending creating new models, right? Or working in a couple of other projects. So to be able to do this modularity like this, which is a lot easier than a couple of other things that we have tried before, it really opens up a lot of opportunities. So if you guys like this kind of thing, this kind of stuff, let us know. And like make your voice heard, and keep posting about it in the community and sending us like feedback on it, because the plan is to expand on this and do more and more stuff like this. And I think this way to do it with the kind of ball joint worked really well, which means that most likely, and I'm not gonna promise it because maybe something will change, but most likely future switchable heads will be compatible with with these models, right? So it's gonna be a lot of good stuff.
It's a lot of combination. If you get like multiple bundles with interchangeable heads, it's it's gonna get intense.
Luiza, someone in chat, Antonio in chat is asking, what kind of metal paint are you using?
Hi, I'm using black metal from scale 75, metal and alchemy.
Okay, and there's a request for a painting tutorial on the Marines. Are we gonna have a painting tutorial this month for the Marines or one of the characters?
Yep.
Yes. Yes. So we're gonna have it. You're getting it, Antonio.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like
it's not gonna be. Yeah.
A full, right? It's gonna be like a pocket version.
Oh yeah, the painting guide. We are gonna have, and there's a little bit of a spoiler for this bundle. This is the first sci-fi bundle where we have a painting guide. It's not gonna be like all of the characters. It's gonna be kind of a pocket version of our painting guide. But we're getting there, guys. It's gonna have, I think it has the painting guide for 5 characters. Yeah,
I think they're right here, by the way.
Yes, they are here on the table actually. But you're gonna have to get the bundle and download the painting guide, and I think it's already available actually, right? I think it's already up on the website for download. This is the extra content section, so you can just go there and download it. Okay, so these are the switchable heads. Unfortunately, we couldn't do every head in the bundle switchable, so let's move on to the next character. And the next character is going to be the Marine Sniper.
Oh yeah.
And this one, there's a reason we couldn't do this one switchable. To do the switchable heads, you can't. You kind of have to make sure that there's not too much stuff like covering up the neck or going over the head, because that would make the attachment point way too visible.
And it kind of has a more dramatic pose with it as well, so it's kind of difficult to fit the head there, or every head there.
Yes, and this concept art was done by André Madesi. And it's just, this is one of those little tricks that I was mentioning before that we use. Of course, like to do an army, you need like your standard Marines with the standard infantry, right? You need the Marine Sergeant that is more of a heavy gunner. You need the commander that has like her service pistol. You need the air support, and of course you need the power armor Marine, and of course you need the sniper Marine. You need a sniper. So that's how we are rounding up the troops with a camouflage sniper. And it's also one of those things that we do to give a little bit more texture and allow you guys to, especially for the painters, to allow you guys to have something fun to do. It's not all just like flat surfaces, right? We did this kind of camouflage cloak. Oh, I'm pointing to my left again, and it's on the right. It's here.
Yeah, it's because
it's here.
In relation, it's kind of
like
the action is going on here.
The actual mini is on my left side, guys. That's why I keep pointing to the wrong side. But anyways, so let's take a look at the actual model and what the sculptor, which was Gustavo Glissi, did with the cape on this one. I think is amazing, because this is actually happening on the concept art as well, but on the sculpt, it's so much more pronounced. The way the cape is kind of like fluttering behind the character.
It feels like it knelt in movement kind of to get the shot.
Yeah,
right?
maybe there's some wind blowing. This is another scene. Like this is the scene in the movie where the bad guy just dies, and then the camera pans around and does like one of those impossible zoom motions and gets the sniper like right after the shot.
I would
right?
absolutely love to see some dioramas with the whole crew, because they all are like in deep movement, and it kind of seems like it has like a battle scene going on there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different battle scenes that you can do with these characters, because we already have like a lot of possible combinations. Like you can do a full army with the characters we have shown so far, and we're not even like halfway done with the bundle.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff for this bundle. So yeah, let's get to it, guys. So another like amazing character, like the pose. It kind of reminds me like, you know, like the little army man figures that you always have, like the army guy, just kind of the little soldier just kind of kneeling down and getting ready to shoot.
This was usually my favorite one, because it was the most like different and kind of edgy, honestly, kind of character. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. So cool. This is one of the characters, one of the Marines that is not carrying any grenades. He's probably not gonna be close enough to the enemies to be using grenades. Yeah, if the enemies get close enough for that, he's doing a bad job at being a sniper. Okay, so let's move on to our next character. And the next one is the Hologram AI. And this concept art is by Guilherme Neri. And you guys know which character this is, right? This is like your Cortana. It is your artificial intelligence that is given like some humanoid form, so you can actually interact with it and kind of make sure it's you know, it gives it some humanity. You get to relate to it in some way. And this character, we have done another hologram before. It was way more stylized, and it was in the welcome pack. But that one did cause a little bit of trouble for printers. It was kind of a pain to do the supports for it and to remove the supports. So for this one, we didn't do like the hologram effect, or is at least not it's not pronounced at all. And the idea is that, you know, it's in the far future. It's not like a Star Wars hologram. It's more of a Halo hologram. And then what you end up with is like you end up with a character that if you print in translucent resin, you can use as a hologram. But if you print with regular resin, it's just another character, an extra like officer character, or maybe a diplomat or something, maybe an android or something. So, you know, you do have the two options here, and I do have it here. I do have the two options here, but we're gonna show you guys the 75mm versions there. The base is a hologram projector, and let's transition into it now. There we go.
Okay.
This one is the translucent resin version. It's the clear translucent resin. It looks a little bit bluish because we have a little blue light there now. The base for this one is a hologram projector, but if you don't want to use that and you want to do like just a regular like humanoid character, you can just use another base, a regular base, and this character is gonna kind of fit in any of them. And yeah, this one is the regular version, and the sculpt for the 3D sculptor for this character was Lailson Camini. And he did an amazing job with this one. Just one of the characters that we get to explore like a lot of details. You get to see like what the characters, the Marines may look like when they are not in like full armor, right? Maybe it's like their dress outfit. Yeah, their dress uniform.
Kind of dress uniform.
Yeah.
To not use in battle.
Yeah, it's the stuff that you use in like in the parties and social events. I don't know if these Marines have a lot of opportunity to participate in those.
Especially when you're trying to save a different timeline.
yeah. But yeah, there you go. It's a little bit of a unique character for this bundle. But we kind of need those, right? We need kind of more. We always like to have at least one like kind of humanoid character that can work as just a regular human. If we don't do any humans in a bundle, people kind of get mad at us. But anyways, we should. And yeah, let's move on to our next or last kind of marine character. And this one's going to be the pilot bot.
And emphasis on pilot in his name.
Emphasis on pilot.
We'll
what
get
is
to
it piloting? Yeah, we're gonna get to it. So the pilot bot the concept art was done by Guilherme Neri. He does have kind of a little bit of a droid look to him. You know, we always have to do a robot, some sort of robot. Like the Marines with the helmets may work as a robot, but we kind of have a commitment that in every bundle we need to have a bot of some kind. It's sci-fi.
And I really like his design. He's kind of like this very personable kind of bot.
Yeah, he's a little bit like one of the Star Wars droids.
Kind of.
Right?
He seems nice, you know?
Yeah, he seems nice. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
He seems like he would be maybe he would be like very, very knowledgeable about his craft, right? But maybe he would be a little bit naive, you know.
Kind of.
Maybe,
yeah, it feels like a bot with personality.
Yeah, if the spaceship crashes and he doesn't have something to pilot, he may be a little lost. You may need to show him along. Right.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of the Love, Death, and Robots, like the three robots, the little one, with kind of like the same head design. It feels kind of like that kind of robot. I really like him.
Yes.
What? Oh yeah.
It is from Solo, right? Rogue One. Oh, Rogue One. Yes. Okay, and the sculpt for the pilot bot was done by Carlos Fontenelle. Before I forget, I have been very good so far about remembering everyone's names, remembering to say them. So if I forget any, please guys remind me on chat, because you know our artists are doing like such an amazing job, and they deserve the credit. Okay, and these are the Marines for now. We're gonna come back because there's a couple more items related to the Marines, but we're gonna leave the items for later, for the end, because there's just so much cool stuff.
We need to talk about the aliens.
Yeah, let's talk about the aliens.
Oh, they're so cool.
Yeah, we went with like a really, really kind of hard to pronounce name for them, but it's, you know, it's fairly easy. It's not as bad as we have been before. They are the Chimeromorphs.
Chimeromorphs because it's like a changing of the body, the binding of
Yeah,
that with
yes,
different things.
they can the lore we created for them, you know, and it's kind of a sci-fi trope at this point, like the Tyranids from Warhammer, or the Zerg in StarCraft. They are the organic technology species.
Yeah.
That is just kind of keeps eating you, you know. like every alien species that you fight wants your resources. For the Chimeromorphs, you are the resource, right?
I don't remember who posed this question here. After the lore was done, the futuristic army coming to fight the aliens that steal technology was kind of not a good plan.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily steal technology. They still the
biology, right?
The genetic code of the things they are fighting. And maybe the reason they look roughly humanoid is because the things that the like really advanced species all look roughly humanoid, and you need to be able to. You need to have like that rough body shape to be able to use their weapons and use their technology, right?
Yeah.
So this is what the Chimeromorphs do. And for our first Chimeromorph that we're gonna show, we have the Kabuto Chimeromorph. Let's get to the concept art of this character first. Oh, we haven't shown the bot yet?
Oh.
Okay, let's go to the sculpt of the bot by Carlos Fontanelli. I thought we had shown this one already.
Yeah.
Sorry about that,
kind
guys.
of like a little case, like a pilot case, on his base. I love that he has like a pilot case.
Yes.
Kind of fully outfitted for that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he can double as a mechanic for the ship. Like he has all the data banks with the knowledge that he needs.
Oh yeah, he's ready.
Yeah, he's ready. Antonio is asking, please do an MP police with a dog robot alien companion. Ooh, that's a very good idea that has actually come up in one of I have been participating in a couple of our
Brainstorm sessions.
Sessions. So yeah, that is an idea that has shown up, and although some people in the team, and I'm not gonna name names, but Alvaro, they don't want to do more dogs. I want more dogs. I want to do all of the dogs. We haven't gone through all of the races yet, so we need more dogs. So yeah, don't worry, Antonio, I'm gonna fight for this idea.
I'm good about cats. Just the dogs for me.
We have done a couple of cats.
Yeah.
A couple of cats.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I think we've seen enough of the pilot bot. Now let's transition to the concept art of the Chimeromorphs. And first up, we have the Kabuto Chimeromorph. And you guys will, and I dropped my pen. Some of you guys may know like Kabuto is just like the Japanese word for beetle or something. Like these guys are really heavily armored. They have like this really tough exoskeleton. A lot of the exoskeleton is like purely organic, but they do augment themselves with technology. And the Kabuto is like the perfect example of it. It's like they are
the ground troops kind of.
Yeah, this guy's like the main ground troops with the huge gun, the huge blaster.
Yeah, and it's an organic weapon.
Yeah, it's part organic and part technological. It's like they are really into this fusing technology with biology thing. Like the Chimeromorphs, they are able to kind of craft themselves into those perfect weapons of war. So yeah, and this guy is huge. Is he actually huge size or is he just large? I think he's huge.
He might just be. Like looking at the 75 millimeters.
Huge. Yeah,
huge.
He's huge. Yeah, he's huge. Oh yeah, I actually have him right here.
Awesome.
I have my cheat sheet here, and I've been forgetting to look at it. And the concept art for this guy was done by Tariq. Is it Tariq I've been saying?
Yeah, Tariq.
Tariq.
I mean, you went around.
I keep going back and forward.
I just find it really disturbing, and I love it as a dungeon master that his gun has a mouth.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, this is a big guy, and yeah, let's showcase him now. So can we transition into the actual model? And we actually need to go into like full screen view so we can see like all of him. He's just so big. And actually, can we put like a regular size like humanoid mini beside him? Yeah, just so we can have like people can have some sense of scale. Yes, look at how big this guy is. Like you need a full troop to take one of these down, maybe, and you need some advanced technology to be able to pierce that armor.
And that's the ground troop. Like that's the.
Yeah, those are the ground troops.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future, if we come back to this species, we're gonna do like what their spaceships look like, which is probably just nightmare fuel. Right?
Oh yeah, organic spaceships.
Yeah, organic spaceships are like organic spaceships
Fun.
in fantasy are always just gross. Sometimes sometimes they're just like I think it's in Spaceship Troopers, where the spaceships are just like giant weaponized asteroids with a lot of larvae in them, which is just gross. I think Stargate did. Stargate has some organic ships for the raids. Like there's a lot of the Tyranids in Warhammer have them, the Zerg have them, and they are always just like you look at any picture of them and they are just kind of moist.
Just moist. Yeah.
They're just moist.
That's the word to describe it. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, moist. Moist. It's such a gross word.
It is.
And it's a perfect way to describe them. And the sculpt for the Kabuto Chimeromorph was done by Daniel Sanchez. Daniel is doing some amazing work for us. This guy has, and even this guy has a couple of different textures, right? So he has the carapace. There are some parts of this character that kind of look like there's a lot of teeth and bone and spikes. And just there's metal as well.
One thing that you mentioned before the stream is the detail with the armor, which kind of looks organic, like a beetle. Like
yes.
It feels like plates.
Yeah, it's an exoskeleton. Like they mix their exoskeleton with technology, and it's not. One thing about the weapon that you mentioned, it has a mouth and it has an eye as well on the outside there. Just such a gross thing.
I like posing things from the alien space species. It feels like the holes in his body are kind of this organic ways to get oxygen that
yes,
like
part
like
of the breathing rolls system.
Yeah,
like blowholes, Anyways, okay, this is the Kabuto Chimeromorph. It's a huge character, and it's kind of like it would be one of the like main antagonists. You print a couple of these, plus the other characters. Plus a couple of the other aliens, and you have like enough for a pretty effective invasion. But yeah, let's move on to our next character, and it's going to be the Astacus Chimeromorph. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this name correctly. We got it from Hiko, one of the members of our 3D support team. He is kind of he has a degree, I forget the name. He has a degree in bugs, basically. It's like, this is highly reductive. He's entomologist. Yeah, he's a biologist with a degree in entomology, specifically. And that's where he got the name. Like, this guy is kind of like, it's like kind of based on a lobster, right? But lobster Chimeromorph didn't sound as intimidating, so we went with another name for lobsters, or the name for a family of lobsters, I believe, which is the Astacus. And yeah, if the Kabuto is the primary ground troops, the Astacus is kind of like they are more sea and water engagement focused. They are amphibious, like completely amphibious, and they are like highly resistant. They are more focused on melee combat, and they are just absolute tanks, just like the Kabutos. They're a little bit smaller, but they are just as dangerous. You do not want to get impaled in one of those blades. They kind of have the huge blades, man. They don't have hands. They just have blades for arms.
Yeah.
You know, this is not a kind of an encounter with a creature like this. It's not an encounter that you solve with diplomacy, right? It's not an option. It's going to be a war. It's going to be a fight, and you do not want to be on. You definitely do not want to be facing one of these.
I mean, the first thing that goes through my head right now is if you want to go.
Yeah, let's transition into the scope actually.
Yeah,
and it's another big one. It's not as big as the Kabuto, but it's large.
Huge.
It's not huge, but it's large.
One of the first things that goes through my mind with that sculpt, it's kind of like a more heavy metal Lovecraftian kind of being.
Yes,
it's like the weird.
Yes, like this is like Zoidberg on steroids.
Yes.
Like the aliens from District 9, they kind of looked like it was actually one of the slurs people used for them, like the shrimps or something, because they have like I don't know the proper name for it, but they have like the tentacles, fingers things in front of their mouths.
And it kind of feels like
kind of cilia things.
When I look at it, it feels like it actually does have like a full shrimp body, and that's kind of attached to the actual body, like in the head part. It feels like that can just walk around.
Yes, and it may as well be true. Like these guys they kind of shape themselves. They shape their biology to fit whatever they are fighting. And if they are fighting humans, this is what they look like. But they may look like something else. So this is a new race that we are introducing that is just like ripe for us to come back to it in the future and just do some more weird stuff. The scope for this one was by João Comaceto, and the concept art was by André Amadesi. Okay, so let's look at the next one. The next one is going to be the Saurian Chimeromorph. And this one is medium-sized. Now we're getting to medium-sized characters. They are not like powerhouses like the other ones. This one is more focused on like infiltration, right? And this particular character, is like, this one reminds me a little bit of stuff like Kamen Rider. Or like those Japanese like Super Sentai stuff, which is kind of like really fun. He does have a couple of different options. He does have a gun, an organic gun, mind you, and like a huge blade. But the lore we have for him is like he's more of he takes a more stealthy approach.
It's more of an infiltration kind of.
Yeah, he infiltrates, goes behind enemy lines, and just fucks shit up.
Fuck shit up. I mean, if you have like an ever adaptable alien species, you kind of need that kind of. You don't.
Yeah, you need to
just have powerhouses.
Yeah. And the concept art for this one was done by Guilherme Neri, and the sculpt, which we're gonna transition to now, was done by Uriel Mendes. And again, an amazing job. Like this one tends a little bit more to the organic side of things, but you can see like a couple of like maybe cybernetic augmentations that they have done. They are an intelligent species, right? They are not like completely mindless, like something like maybe they are hive mind. I'm not sure if they are.
I don't think that's in the lore.
I don't think we specified that in the lore, They could be a hive mind, but they can have. I would like to believe they can have some individuality.
Yeah.
Because I want to take this character and use him as a player character.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm a huge fan of stuff like Warframe, which has a similar vibe to this as well. And just absolutely amazing job.
Really cool. Speaking to that, a highly adaptable alien species, it feels like each type of alien can have like different types of intelligence to what they need. They're like really war focused.
Yeah, if you're doing just the powerhouse brute, that guy doesn't necessarily need to have like a super high intelligence. It just needs to, because it kind of just needs to let him go on the battlefield and like maybe have some pheromone markers to say like, these guys are not enemies, those guys are, go get them. But if you're doing like the smaller characters that have to be smart enough to infiltrate behind enemy lines and do some damage there and escape and come back and do it again, then you need a little bit more intelligence, right? So yeah, this is the Saurian Chimeromorph. Next up, we have our Hornet Chimeromorph. And you guys may notice that we have a couple of parallels with the Marines, and the intention here is that you're going to be able to have two opposing troops, right? You do a couple of... So the Hornet Chimeromorph is kind of like the perfect nemesis for the Jetpack Marine. He can also fly, but I think maybe what he's producing, like, what is he ejecting from the back? Is it plasma?
That's organic matter for sure.
Yeah, I think that his jetpack's not organic, but it could be a mix of things. I think it's a little bit the scope here is gonna be a little bit more fluid. The concept art for this one was done by Andrea Madesi, and the sculpt was done by Sebastian Ramos. We're just adjusting things here a little bit. This unit is a little bit taller because just like the Jetpack Marine is being elevated by the smoke trail. And again, is another mini that would be kind of hard to make work without this specific base. Let's see here. Yeah, we're adjusting things. Just a minute, folks. I'll be adjusting, and I checked. Ooh. I'm getting some bug reports here on chat. A couple of things missing from the files. I'm sure there are a couple of members of the support team watching things on chat, so that's probably gonna get fixed in a little bit. So Antonio is saying that this guy and he's probably referring to the Saurian Chimeromorph. He's saying this guy looks like a cross between Guyver and Cell from DBZ.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we're ready. So let's show off the Hornet Chimeromorph. And the Hornet, like, it does kind of what the name implies. He's a flying unit. He's an air support unit with a... Ooh, somebody's getting a call somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I was getting a call. That's what was happening. I have this little Bluetooth headphone here, so I can hear Luiza, and suddenly I started getting a call from somewhere. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? We're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live. Okay, so where was I?
Like for the
he's a ranged unit.
Yeah,
he does have his organic gun is kind of attached to him.
It's not all that heavy duty. Like it feels like more mobile.
Yes, absolutely. The thing that this guy does is, like, his armor is not as thick as something like the Kabuto or the Astacus. The thing this guy does is he's very mobile, he's very fast. He just zooms around the battlefield, just zapping things. and his gun is attached to him, just like a Hornet or a bee, right? So once he uses it, he's kind of done. Once he loses that, he's kind of done.
For me, as a DM, like especially looking at this specific mini, the way I would run it is like, if you lose team members from like your actual troops, that's the kind of aliens that come back. Like when they incorporate the things that you bring, that's the kind of aliens that come back. So like,
oh yeah. Maybe they incorporate a bunch of genetic material from the technology from a Jetpack Marine, and then you get a Hornet Marine.
Pretty much
a Hornet Chimeromorph. Yeah,
that's how the war evolves, kind of. Yeah, but I really like the design.
Yeah. So the Hornet Chimeromorph. Yeah, I have said that the sculpt is by Sebastian Ramos, and I think you can move on to the next one, which is the Dragonfly Chimeromorph.
Another flying Chimeromorph.
Yeah, it's another flying one. This one has landed, so he's not like flying around. He's not gonna have like the base with like the smoke. It's not gonna be that hard to print and paint. But yeah, this is the sniper for the Chimeromorphs. His weapon is not as organic as some of the other ones. It's gonna be a little bit harder for him to replace if he loses it. I keep saying he or she for the Chimeromorphs. I think they would be more like it's. I don't know if they have like a determined gender or anything. You know, you do whatever you want in your game. I think the Chimeromorphs are just kind of really weird. The concept for the Dragonfly Chimeromorph was done by Guilherme Neri. It's absolutely amazing. It's a different type of wing that we haven't done in a while, like the insectoid wings. The last time we did it, the insectoid character with wings, was actually in Saurian Native Diplomacy, which I think was like October of last year. So it's been a long time since we did something like this. This is the kind of character that you can, once you print, maybe you can print it in like translucent resin and paint everything but the wings. And you can get some really cool effects that way. And again, this is the guy that's gonna complement the troops for the Chimeromorph size. So let's take a look at the actual sculpt. And the sculpt for this one was done by Victor Prado.
That's kind of the counterpoint troop to the sniper.
Yes.
From the army.
Yes, and again, like this guy has some, like, one of the things that I like about this guy is that the leg actually has you can actually see like through it, right? It's not just it looks really weird. Like, it has some negative space on the legs there that are really fun. And actually, I think we actually forgot one of the busts for the Chimeromorphs. Yeah, we're gonna show it like right after we finish showing this character. We're gonna show one of our busts, which is gonna be the last bust for today. But yeah, just an awesome sculpt, an awesome character. So let's go back to show that bust, and the bust is going to be for the Hornet Chimeromorph. It's the only alien bust that we did for this one. A couple of the other characters, like the Kabuto Chimeromorph or the Astacus, would be kind of too big. And I think the idea of doing the bust for the Dragonfly Marine is to get a little bit of that not the Dragonfly, the Hornet Chimeromorph. It's to get that little stream jet on his back, which is something like really interesting. Is a very dynamic bust. But yeah, there we go. Just a really cool character, and we get to see all of the details. Like the fact that he has like the little legs above the stomach, right?
I think most of them do actually.
Yeah.
It feels like evolution didn't go, like, it goes fast, but it doesn't lose like some of the original.
Why fix what isn't broken? Or maybe those are just like some some like recessive traits or traits that didn't get like filtered out of the evolutionary
They kind of have to
process.
focus on the pragmatic part of evolving like into weapons and technology, that some parts kind of just stay there. I really like that. And I love the jetpack details.
Yes, the jetpack with like this is one of the scopes where we have to change things a little bit to make it work, and the jet stream behind is like really cool. Okay, now we have shown the bus. Let's move on to our second to last character for today, which is going to be the Mantis Chimeromorph. So let's check out the concept art by Guilherme Neri. And this one is like a straight up melee combatant, right? A little bit more, a lot more agile than the other ones.
That's coming right to you very fast.
Yeah. And it's another one that, doesn't have any hands, just has blades. There's no diplomacy with the Chimeromorphs. Maybe I should talk a little bit about the idea behind the name Chimeromorph. The idea was just like they have this trait of absorbing DNAs from other creatures, and just kind of have like having this variety with a bunch of different animal inspirations, right? But they are like completely alien. So we took inspiration from that. We took the Chimera part and put together with the morph from the Xenomorphs from the Alien franchise, and that's how we got Chimeromorph. If someone didn't get it already. So yeah, let's check out the sculpt. This is another like very dynamic pose sculpt. It almost reminds me a little bit of a ballerina. And I should mention the concept art for this one is by Tariq Moutran again, and the sculpt is by Victor Prado. So yeah, it reminds me a little bit of a ballerina or a dancer or a skater or something. You're just, really agile and really lean and fast, and maybe a glass cannon, maybe like able to do a lot of damage very fast, and then get away and do some more damage somewhere else. So yeah. And it does, again, just like the Saurian Chimeromorph, it does give me a little bit of Warframe vibes, which I absolutely love. I love the organic armor stuff. It's my jam.
Looks great.
Yes, and because we don't have too much time, let's move on to the next character, which is going to be. And this one is a cute one. We have to do a cute one once in a while, and this one is one of those. It's a Chimeromorph hatchling.
It's a baby Chimeromorph.
So
really
all of that horribleness starts with one of these. And I pointed to the right side this time.
Yeah. I was looking there. I was like, where? What's going on?
Yeah. So all of that horribleness starts with this guy, and the concept art is by Andrea Madesi, and this guy can turn, like, depending on a bunch of different conditions, it can turn into any of the other aliens, right? So that's the lore reason we did this character, but I think the main reason, like the actual reason we decided to do this little guy, is because through all of that like gut-wrenching, disgusting horribleness, like Zerg or Tyranid, like just alien eating your flesh and taking your powers away. After all of that, we kind of needed a palate cleanser, so we decided to do something cute. Now, if you are someone who doesn't like insects or something like that, you're not gonna find this cute. But I'm not one of you. So I like this. I like this a lot. Oh, just a second. I think I lost the. See here, because I'm getting it's from the phone. I'm gonna have to adjust a couple of things here, but this guy is. Let's transition into the actual sculpt now. And the sculpt was done by Matheus Baboni. Just a second, Luiza, while I fix things here.
Speaking a little bit on the lore, on how this like baby Chimeromorph kind of works, it like the cuteness in it is kind of an evolutionary kind of solution to its survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be Luiza, can you say something now? Let's see if I can. Yeah, your voice is coming out on the wrong place. But anyways, you're about to come to this side in a little bit, so don't worry about it. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I fixed it. It is fixed now. Okay, so yeah, it's one of its strategies. It's just to be really cute, and then it doesn't get killed. Maybe some biologist somewhere, some entomologist looks at it and like, oh, look at how cute this is, and doesn't kill it, doesn't burn it with fire.
Feeds
like
it after midnight. Which
yeah,
definitely
feeds it after midnight or something like that. But yeah, that's how you get. Do you want an alien invasion? Because that's how you get an alien invasion. And these are all of the characters, but we still have so much to get through.
And it's some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's some cool stuff. Okay, so I think we should probably show the concept art for a couple of things next. So let's show the concept art for the ship and the car, because they kind of go together. And we're gonna try to do close-ups later, but we're first just gonna show them on the table here. So yeah, let's show the concept art for our ship or transport or troop transporter. So yes, it is here. This is the KC-3900 Zeus transport aircraft with concept art by Kevin Pera. And this concept art is actually a little bit older than this bundle. We originally meant to do this for the
Seni Dunes of Lutba.
Yes, Seni Dunes of Lutba. But that bundle was already kind of packed full of stuff.
Yeah.
And the ship was gonna be much smaller. It was gonna be like half the size. So it wasn't gonna be like a real group transport. So we decided to do it justice and save it for the closing of this particular adventure cycle, right? Mm-hmm. So I did it much bigger. It can actually fit either 12 32mm characters, or it can fit 6 characters plus the car. Mm-hmm. So let's show the concept art for the car now. Again, the concept is by Kevin Pera, and it's the Thunder LTV, which is a really cool car.
Let me try to get it out of here because it's kind of hidden.
Yes. Okay. And again, you have like an aerial troop transport. You need a ground transport, a cool car to go with it, and that's what we decided to do. And that's what Anderson Pioli for the transport aircraft and Alex Marik for the Thunder LTV did for us. So let's showcase now let's try to, can we zoom in on them at all? Okay, yes. So we do have the troop transport here. It is big, and we're gonna try to show all of the features. The mounted turrets can actually move around.
It has a lot of moving parts actually. It has like a camera, or I don't know what this is in the top.
Yeah, it maybe like some sort of sensor, some kind of like
or a laser, something like that.
Or maybe not droid, because the Lucasfilms owns the word droid, so but maybe some kind of small bot of some kind. We do have like a command center here, which can't 32 mil. I think it may fit here.
Yeah,
I think it actually does. So the pilot bot actually fits in there. You can fit a couple of characters in there actually, of the 32 variants. So you have a control center here. We have the LTV vehicle here, at the top. Like, this is not the place where it goes, right? It goes inside the tank. And let's actually try to make it work. Let's try to showcase this to you guys.
Yeah. It's pretty big.
Like, yeah,
the 32 like as comparison.
Yes. And the top deck is huge. It's enormous. And we actually made it so it can be removed. And you can have like the... Let me get this. So it can be removed. And you can set up your troops inside of the transport. And inside you actually have... I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see it here. On the walls here, we have some weapons mounted on the walls inside. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be able to show that much detail there.
The car on the inside.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you guys can actually see around here the ooh, something went wrong. Let's check here. Oh, we're back. So yeah, just a huge aircraft. And let's actually just kind of choke it as full of characters, 32 mil characters, as we can. I think we have several of them that can fit in here. I don't think the Jetpack is gonna fit because she's a little bit taller. This one, maybe this one as well. Yeah, I think we're losing a couple. The thing I said about the 32 mil heads, they are very small, so you may want to attach them permanently. Anyways, yeah, this one can fit a lot, and it's such a cool model.
And this can be a battle map, like onto itself.
Yeah, probably. And to go along with it, and let's close things up here. Let me put the...
I think I'm going to take these two up, like...
Yeah, ooh, let's see here.
Okay.
Okay, and the ramp actually goes up, right? There we go. And you can close it and just play around it like a kid. That's what I do with these things. And it's so huge. Now, can we actually try to get it a close-up on that side? Yeah, just put it there, just so we can show the kind of the front of it. It does come with its own landing pad that goes with it. That again can be used as combat terrain. Mm-hmm. It's quite big. Let's see here if we can give you guys a good look at it. Yeah, there we go. This is just such a great sculpt, you guys. It's one of the biggest ones that we've done for sci-fi. For the sci-fi subscription. And yeah, it's just amazing. Just like the Thunder LTV as well, and it's one of the things that Zeus does, right? It brings the thunder. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it. And thank you so much for everyone involved in these models. So again, the concept art for both of these models was by Kevin Pera, and the sculpt for the transport aircraft was by Anderson Pioli, and for the Thunder LTV was by Alex Marik. The landing pad, the concept art was done by Andrea Madesi, and the sculpt was done by Mateus Baboni.
There's one more thing we should mention, which is the...
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we have a miniaturized version of the ship, which is just a really this was kind of done to... You can use it as either a map. This one, I think we broke something. It's all right.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can actually we can show it there.
There. Okay. Go. Honestly, kind of works as a like a secondary vehicle for 32 millimeters as well.
Yes, it can work. I think you mentioned before. It kind of works like a
speedster kind
like
of.
like a pod racer maybe.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, and the guns fit, right? So yeah, it can work as a 32 millimeter like personal transport or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just such cool stuff. Yeah, I think we showed the Thunder LTV. Okay, let's move on because we still have a lot of stuff to show, and we're kind of getting short on time here. So next up we have the Dice Tower. So let's show the concept art for it first. And the concept art was done by Katatao. Don't ask me. That's the name he prefers to go by, and that's fine by me. So we recently did for Nightmares of the Abyss, we did a dice tower, and dice towers are something that people have been asking us to do for such a long time. Like ever since I got into loot, anytime we do anything like tower shaped, people were like, why don't you make it a dice tower? The thing is, we want to do it justice, right? We want to do so. We want to plan things out. So we did a dice tower for the fantasy subscription, and this is the dice tower for the sci-fi subscription. And it's a really cool dice tower as well. It's a really cool model. And the idea is that you can use it as a let me throw a couple of dice on it. So you can use it as a dice tower, or you can just use it as a terrain prop or for a diorama or something. It could work as that as well. So let's see here. Let me try to. Oh yes. Let's try to. We're trying to focus things here so you guys can get a close up of it. And if Luca, if you could pick up a couple of dice and just roll down it. Yes.
Yeah, I have to comment. I haven't had as much luck with this one as in the fantasy. First rolls for this one are pretty good. Yeah.
Yes, and the dice tower was actually sculpted by Alex Marik. So, you know, just fun for the whole family. I love this thing so much. Like, there's so much stuff in this model. Like, we're not even done yet. Okay, before we do the gun, actually, let's skip ahead in the concepts and do a couple of things first. So we have the container. And the container, the concept art is by Guilherme Neri, and the sculpt is by Sebastian Ramos. And let's show the concept art first. And the idea here is that we want to do like kind of a really simple object that could be done multiple times, and that could be very versatile. And so we did the container, which actually works as a container. And I have it here in my hands right now, and like it actually opens up. One of the things you can do is you can store the LTV in here, the Thunder, yeah. the car for the bundle in here. There's a lot of minis that you can put here. Yeah, and yes, or you can just put a lot of troops in it. Or if you're feeling, it doesn't have a lock mechanism, but you can use it as mini storage if you want to, or dice, or as a dice vault as well. Yeah, maybe we could. Yeah, let's show them how it. Let's turn it around a little bit and then show them how it closes up. So just push the car inside and. Close it up. And yeah, it's a simple sculpt, but it's a very, very versatile and useful one. We do have 2 of them here, so I'm definitely taking one of them home.
And it works great as like a dice box even.
Yes. That's why I'm picking it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not an if, it's
going to be that.
And the scope for the container is by Sebastian Ramos. Just as our next object, which is the crate, it's kind of tradition for us to have a chest in every loot bundle. And we have one here with concept by Guilherme Neri and sculpt by Sebastian Ramos. And it's a very, very small one. It's like the only like really, really small object in this bundle. I'm not even sure if we're gonna be able to show all of the how nice it looks. Yeah, let's pick it up. Maybe we can focus. Yes. But you know, it's the mandatory chest, we need to have one.
Kind of feels like a supply pack.
Yes, Antonio is also saying it could be a good paintbrush storage as well.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we would need to like make it a little bit longer. But I think there's a piece here you can print a couple of them. Okay. Next up, oh, it has a right way to close it. And last but not least, the prop for this bundle, which is a really, really awesome one. It's the Commander's sidearm. So let's check out the concept art for it. And the concept art for this one was done by Andrea Madesi. And it's the sidearm that the actual commander for this bundle is wielding. Luca, if you would like to do the honors and pick it up and show it to people.
It's pretty great. It's really detailed.
Yeah, it feels hefty and it feels like it would pack a punch, right?
Oh yeah. Lucas also installed like a laser inside. I don't think it's working just because of the placement here. Is it? Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Just put the trigger up a little bit.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, this one's a little bit finicky. Okay, yeah, here we go. It has a laser, basically a laser pointer on it. But just something that we did, and it works really well. Let's see here. Let's just, I don't know, just put something there. So let's start to showcase it here for the camera. Just a second, you guys, while we focus. Yeah, there we go. Really, really cool. We actually managed to get the trigger kind of functional here. I don't know if it's a good idea to point a laser like directly into the camera, so I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, like a really, really cool weapon. And oops, I'm not practicing now. Now I'm good. Now I'm practicing like gun safety.
You're pointing it at me, so
yeah,
probably not.
Kind of. Yeah, like they weren't seeing this. You could have let me slide, man. Yes, it's just such a cool prop. It's another one of the props that I am definitely gonna steal and take home. And this together with like we do have like technically the first prop for the sci-fi bundles, the grenade, right? We're starting to build a kit, right, for the sci-fi bundles. And let me just make sure I credit everyone here. And yeah, the Commander sidearm was sculpted by Caio Bellucci. Or Bellucci. I'm gonna go with Bellucci. So Caio, thank you so much for this awesome prop. Okay. And this is it for War for Humanity, which is a lot of stuff. So definitely check out this bundle and go pick it up if you haven't yet. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff in it. Also for this month, it's gonna be coming out in just a little while, probably next week. Unfortunately, we had a couple of setbacks, but we're gonna have it is the June 2022, Loot is having its 2-year anniversary. So there's an extra reward coming, an extra prop. It's going to be the Lutimus mask, the mask for our 12-month fantasy loyalty reward. We're doing it like full scale, okay? And it's going to be available as part of the fantasy bundle and as part of this bundle. So stay tuned for some updates. Unfortunately, we had some issues, like the mask was basically done, but the file got corrupted, and then Alvaro got sick, which is a bummer. He was also going to a convention, but now that he's like bedridden, maybe he can get to work on the mask again.
Something to do with.
Yeah, something to do while he's sick.
Yeah,
I don't know. I do hope that Alvaro and Marcia get better real soon. We do miss them here at the office. But yeah, stay tuned for an update with the Lutimus mask. Now, another couple of things that we'd like to showcase for this bundle. So let's show off the magazine for the bundle. So the magazine is out for the bundle. It has all of the stat blocks that you're gonna need, plus the lore for the bundle. So yeah, if we could just scroll through the magazine, it just has a lot of cool stuff. All the stuff that you're gonna need to run a campaign using these characters. All of the backstory. Just a lot of cool stuff. Look at how the hatchling looks cute in the magazine there. Yeah, so thanks so much to the team for getting this ready for us. Another thing that we have, and I've mentioned it before, we have the pocket painting guide for this bundle. So it's not all of the minis, it's like 5 minutes. So let's showcase that. Just a second, guys. We're gonna be moving a couple of things around here. Just a second, you guys. We're kind of figuring a couple of things out here. Yeah, so we're ready to show you guys, and let's do just a couple of seconds. While that's happening, let's check out chat. No, we do have a couple more things to showcase. And I will invite Luiza here once. Are you, like, how close are you to being done there, Luiza?
I'm just done. Just adding just one more line.
Okay. Don't worry, there's gonna be enough time. Okay, so yeah, here's the painting guide for the. And can we zoom? Yes, zoom out a little bit, maybe. The painting guide. Yeah, maybe we're gonna be able to see a little bit more, but that's okay, because if you want to get to see the painting guide, you're gonna have to get the bundle, and I think that's the idea here. But that's no issue. And okay, next up we have an update on the. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the painting guide with everything you need to know. We're not gonna show too much of it because, you know, it's kind of exclusive for subscribers. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's transition back. I don't know if that's gonna be working. We didn't actually have a chance to test it earlier, but we do have an update on the loyalty reward, the 9-month loyalty reward. Mm-hmm. So if you've been with us since the beginning of the sci-fi subscription, and if you have every bundle from SOS Savage Outbreak in Space until what was it, last month's bundle, Mercs and Miners, if you have every single one of them, you qualify. Not yet. You qualify for the loyalty reward, Nemesis, the first singularity.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Yeah. And we have shown concept art of her already. It has gone out. Unfortunately, it's a little bit delayed, but the sculpting process is done, and it's with our 3D support team right now. The 32 and 75 millimeter versions should be out by the 21st, so next week, and the statue version should be out by around the 28th of June. Okay, so it's a little bit delayed, but it's coming, and we do have, and let's see if the video works here. We do have a video of the render of the sculpt, like fresh up. Yeah, there we go. And she's turned out absolutely amazing. And the concept art for this character was done by Guilherme Mota, and I believe the sculpt was done by Daniel Sanchez. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Daniel. And it's just such an amazing job that he's done. Let's transition. Can we show it again? Yeah, it's looking fantastic. Let's see. Is it showing to you guys? I think it is. Yeah, this character looks absolutely amazing.
He feels like an end of campaign villain.
Almost. Yeah, end of campaign villain, and we have actually been talking about here at Loot today, and it's such perfect timing. There were some news from Google about some guy getting fired because he was trying to convince people that an AI had just gone sentient. And, you know, it's kind of scary and it's kind of cool that we're doing this. You know, maybe this is what happens. This is what you get when an AI goes sentient. You get Nemesis, the first singularity. You get just a robot woman with a bunch of human brains around her, you know, maybe collecting human brains. We're gonna keep you guys posted on this loyalty reward and do constant updates. And yeah, the last thing that I'd like to talk about before we go into, and now I'd like to ask Luiza to come here. Yep. Luiza, if you could join us, please.
1 second.
Okay. Yeah, every time I'm actually gonna turn off this call with Luiza here. Let me take this off. Put it away. And as we wait for Luiza to join us, she's coming into the room now.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, let's see if she can fit in here. And yeah, let's clear this up so. Actually, just leave the turntable.
Oh, the turntable.
Yeah, we're just adjusting things here, folks. As I said, we're doing it live.
There we go.
Okay, let's put it right there in the turntable. Are you good?
Yes.
Okay. We really need to get a stool for when you come here or something.
Yeah, got a small.
Yeah, the back, I don't think the back's painted. Yeah, it's a big model. I think Luiza focused on the front end.
Yeah.
But it's such a cool character. Okay, so yeah, before we move on to the Q&A section, we would like to announce the name of the next bundle. And this one may change a bit because we're not too sure about it. You know, like none of the higher ups are here, so we're kind of like we're playing solo here. But stick with us, guys. So I think the name transmits the idea of what the next bundle is going to be. The name of the next sci-fi bundle, which is going to start the next second half of the year, the next season for sci-fi, is going to be Damnation. So it's Damnation. Just if anyone is got confused because of my accents, is DAMN space nation. Just so we're clear. It may change, it may not, but you know, it's just a little bit of a taste of what's to come next. And it has some big things. It actually has such big things that it kind of looks like a campaign finale.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to the Q&A section. Let's see here. Rob Walder, I've seen you commenting that the FDM version of the gun is missing the magazine. I'm gonna let people know, and we're gonna replace the file. Yeah, people did get confused because of my accent, but that's fine. So if you guys have any questions or suggestions, I've seen you commenting that the FDM version of the paste them down in chat, and we're gonna try to magazine. I'm gonna actually let me go back and check replace the things that have happened here. Ooh, I just saw like the back of my head in chat, and it looks like I'm getting a bald spot, but that's fine. So if you guys have any questions or suggestions, I've seen you commenting
any plans to revisit races from prior bundles?
Yes, absolutely. So we're kind of experimenting with a lot of races and doing a lot of new things, and we're kind of seeing what sticks. We have released some content recently, right? Where we use the races as a we do like the playable versions of the races.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons we did that is because we want to come back to them. They're gonna.
So currently, all the races that we have for this bundle are covered like for 5e stats.
Yes. So yeah, we definitely plan on coming back to them at some point. Fantasy. Since there can she be is asking, since there are other alternate heads for sci-fi, will we see in the future? Will we in the future see for fantasy? That's an absolute possibility. I don't think we have it planned for any of that fantasy for the upcoming fantasy bundles, but it worked so well for sci-fi that it's definitely in the cards for the fantasy bundle. We just kind of need to find like the right bundle to do it in. Some of the bundles, like the characters in the fantasy bundles, tend to be a little bit more specific. So like the head going with a particular body type. It's not a lot of like soldiers, just soldiers like we have here. But you know, it's definitely a possibility, and it's gonna happen as soon as we have a chance to do it.
The lenses I painted with was something. Yeah, the name is kind of something like. It's from 75 scale 75, whatever. And then I put it gloss varnish. To make kind of part of the glows.
Rex is asking, love the swappable heads. Any plans for other swappable hands, weapons? It worked very, very well for this bundle, and we are thinking on how to expand on it and how to do it better. It's probably gonna take a while because we plan our bundles like well in advance. Like 6 months in advance, or most of our bundles are planned already. So, but it is definitely a possibility. Like, we are talking about how to expand the modularity without losing the uniqueness of our characters.
A couple of questions about the loyalty reward. Those are brains in the loyalty reward, and the cake is definitely a lie with this one.
Oh, it's this one. The paint that Luiza was using is
was Uridin.
Let's see.
It's the name. It's like
Jorilidin. So it's JORILDYN turquoise. SFG 31 reference number.
Yep.
So yeah, hope that helps. So could you, Richard Finlay, could you get a blank base so we can make our own scene? Or what exactly are you saying? Are you saying for the fantasy, for the loyalty reward, Richard? I don't think. I think the base that we are showing is kind of the base that we showed is kind of the statue base. We are probably going to have a different base for kind of maybe simpler for 32 and 75 millimeter. Rex is asking, sets inspired by Star Trek. It's a possibility. I think it's Star Trek is a little bit more cerebral. It would be kind of, you know, it's hard to do. We have thought about doing it in the past, but it's kind of hard to do. What are you trying to do, Lisa?
I don't know.
There's a little hair here.
Yeah, I was trying to take it out, but whatever.
Oh, for the regular figures, absolutely. I think we actually have a couple of those, like regular bases that we do. Yes. Oh, yes.
A clear one, a base like clear.
Yeah. Have we done that yet? Yes. I understand that. So we have like a clear hexagonal base in the welcome pack. The thing with our bases is that we do inserts for the feet, so they may not fit every single mini. It is a request that has happened before, and we are working on it. It's probably gonna come out in the welcome pack at some point.
And the action poses don't quite work.
Yeah, the action poses don't quite work. They kind of need the specific bases, but you know.
Question from Mackenzie Oaks: is the dice tower and tray separable? The dice tray here, I don't think it's separable. I think the fantasy one is, but not.
The fantasy one is. I believe the. Let's see here. This.
I think it's one piece.
Yeah, it's kind of one piece. Let's see here. The joining point is right here. So if you don't want to use the small tray, you just want to use like your regular game tray, you can just not glue this part and it should work. You're probably gonna have to do some finishing around here, but we made the dice towers to make them function kind of as standalone products. The big crate, the container, does not fit inside the Zeus. It's kind of a bit too tall. Let's see here. What else are we getting? Yeah, I think we're winding down with the questions. Let me just go back and check if there's anything else that we want to know. No new questions coming in. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's wrap it up, guys, because Luiza can't just keep milling around forever. So thank you so much for sticking with us until the end. It's been a joy to showcase everything to you guys. This bundle is just packed full of so much goodness and so much stuff that I want to steal and take home. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Bye bye.